An emotional trigger is like a filter. It's like a filter that drops down when it's activated, and then you see the world through that filter. And it feels very real. And that filter tells not just the others a story, it also tells ourselves a story. So then it becomes self-perpetuating. So the story is always something negative. When it's an emotional trigger, it's something scary that is suddenly happening, something where I don't feel loved, I don't feel safe, I don't feel like I belong. And then the whole nervous system is in reaction to keep yourself safe from those feelings that are self-created. And that doesn't mean that something on the outside isn't happening, that doesn't feel good. But when the body is activated in that survival-based way where your breath is shortening and something in your body is contracting, you might have butterflies, you might have a tight feeling in your chest, or the throat might be tightening up and you can't speak right, you can't think right. Everything is contracting. And you're not really embodying your higher self to the same degree anymore. You're kind of more in reptilian survival mode at that point. And when you react from that place, nothing good can come of it. And more often than not, the person that you're reacting to is also reacting to you in a similar way. We tend to be attracted to just the right situations and people where there's like a hook. My filter goes down, your filter goes down. And now in a way, it's these two roles that are reacting to each other, repeating an old dynamic. Now, this is very hard to recognize when you're in it. And it takes a certain level of self-awareness to recognize, wow, I do have a certain filter, a certain theme that keeps repeating in my life that makes me feel like I'm not really myself, like I'm not really in control of what's happening, and I'm not getting the outcome that I really want. So even with all my good intentions, something that feels below the surface of my conscious awareness hijacks me and takes over. That's essentially what an emotional trigger is. And we all have them. They wreak havoc on us in so many ways, some very obvious, like addictions, the urge to numb out, whether that be drugs, alcohol, food. So that becomes very obvious when we start having a problem like that. But it could also be a more quiet way that they're acting on our life, like something you really want to do. You don't want to be in the dead-end job. You actually want to do this next level thing. And you're not stepping into it because something contracts in you when you even think of it. And really, if you're living a life that isn't completely in alignment and what you want on all levels, there's probably some contractions and some fears that you could work with. So when we start working with emotional triggers, we are in essence setting ourselves free. Our spirit self, our higher self, has enormous capacities, has an enormous potential, and it's really only limited by the earthly vessel and how much of that higher self wattage or light we can carry and exude and manifest in the world. So the work with emotional triggers is a way to prepare our bodily vessel to become a strong vessel for our higher self to carry out our mission in the world. And it's also a way to become more and more aware of our own divine nature, because the only thing that can truly overcome these deep embodied triggers that we've carried for a long time is our divine self. So the more we work with these triggers by being divinely present with them, and that's what I will teach you in the book that I have written and in the courses that I teach based on the book, and the other way around. The book is also based on all the teachings that I'm doing. Going through that process, you set yourself more and more free. What used to contract in the face of a new challenge or a certain kind of situation or dynamic, be it professional, be it in your romantic relationships, all of a sudden, all of that will seem easier because you're no longer dropping into this filter where all of a sudden you're playing an old role again. You get to become new. You get to become yourself and new in every moment in your life. So as you move through the process of healing what hurts inside, what is contracted inside, you will see different parts of your life start to open up. It's like suddenly what used to be contracted and a little bit tight and narrow, there's an opening. There's an opening. And you'll see it in your relationships. You will see it in how you interact with your family. You will see it in how you approach your professional career. So my invitation to you is to jump on board into this book club that I'm inviting you to now that my book has dropped. And we will go through it in a small group because this is very intimate work. This gets into the most intimate, personal, vulnerable areas of our life. So we want to do it in a really safe setting with people that each understand that this is sacred work. This is really work of bringing our own divine higher self nature to those wounded places where we feel like a contracted, scared child. So we do it over the course of 10 weeks, but the book club is divided into 2 halves. So you could take the first 5 weeks, really see how far you actually can get in that time, and then choose if you want to do the second half of the book. So it's only a 5-week commitment up front. You might also just jump in and say, you know what, I want to do the whole book. It's 10 weeks, an hour and a half per week, and then there will be some assignments that you could choose to work with. But even if you just did the hour and a half per week, things would start to shift. You would start to see differences in your body, in the numbing agents that you've probably been engaging in. They will slowly fall away, so your body will become healthier, your relationships will become healthier, and new opportunities and new doors will open when you no longer impose this contracted limitation on yourself in certain areas of your life. So it's kind of magical. It looks a little different in each person's life, but the common denominator is that everyone who goes through the process ends up feeling more alive, more rejuvenated, more optimistic, and really starting to kind of take the reins of your own life and see how much you can manifest in this life of yours when you no longer believe in the fearful outer circumstances that are ultimately created by your own old wounds that you carry on the inside. So it's an inside job, but it's one that can be done, and it's not actually that complicated, and does become a lot easier when you do it with a group and with a coach that kind of holds you to it for a period of time. So I hope you would like to join me. I would love to have you. You can sign up below.